You clicked on this video because you want to be rich. You're tired of the fluff, the generic advice, and the gurus telling you to just wake up at 5 a.m. and be a good person. Listen to me. In 1513, Niccolò Machiavelli wrote a manifesto called The Prince, and buried inside his political theories is a very specific, incredibly dark financial secret. A strategy used by almost every self-made billionaire today. One that nobody talks about because it shatters the illusion of how money is actually made. I'm going to show you exactly what that secret is. But here's where most people get it wrong. You see, right now you are trapped in what I call the ordinary world. You've been told that if you put your head down, provide value, and play fair, the market will magically reward you. You invest in index funds, you treat your competitors with respect, and you hope to be a millionaire by the time you're 65. It's a beautiful lie, and it's exactly why you're stuck. To break out, we need to start with Machiavelli's most powerful, paradigm-shifting point. He wrote, "A man who wishes to make a profession of goodness in everything must necessarily come to grief among so many who are not good." In business, trying to be the nice guy 100% of the time is financial suicide. The marketplace isn't a charity, it's a battlefield. The billionaires you idolize didn't get there just by having a good product. They got there by outmaneuvering, outsmarting, and dominating their space. But wait, does that mean you have to become an evil, unethical scammer? This is the call to adventure that most people refuse. They hear the word ruthless and they back away. They retreat to their 9 to 5 because it's safe. But what if I told you Machiavelli doesn't want you to be evil? He wants you to be effective. He is your mentor in this journey. And his first lesson forces you to cross the threshold from the naive employee mindset into the mind of a sovereign wealth builder. Machiavelli talks about two forces in the world, fortuna and virtù. Fortuna is luck, the economy, the algorithm, the market crash. Most people let fortuna dictate their wealth. Virtù, however, doesn't mean virtue. In Machiavelli's Italian, it means drive, talent, capability, and sheer force of will. But here is a trap even the smartest entrepreneurs fall into. You think having a strong will is enough. It's not. As you enter the marketplace, you are going to face tests, you'll need allies, and you will absolutely make enemies. To survive this, Machiavelli says you must adopt the nature of two animals, the fox and the lion. You must be a fox to recognize the traps, the bad contracts, the shady partners, the changing market trends. And you must be a lion to terrify the wolves, to crush the competitors trying to steal your market share. If you are only a lion, using brute force and outspending your competition, you will walk blindly into a trap and go bankrupt. If you are only a fox, clever but weak, your competitors will bully you out of the industry. Yet there is a hidden third element he kept veiled. A secret about human nature that you must understand before you face your biggest crisis. I'll reveal that third element in a moment, but first you need to understand how to apply the fox and the lion when everything goes wrong. Because a crisis is coming. In every entrepreneur's journey, you will approach a moment of absolute do or die. The inmost cave. Maybe the economy tanks. Maybe a massive competitor launches a clone of your business. Suddenly, your back is against the wall. Standard financial advice says, hold steady, weather the storm, compromise. Machiavelli says, men must be either pampered or crushed. If you do minor damage to a man, he will survive to take revenge. If you crush him entirely, he cannot. Think about how this applies to your wealth. If you're going to compete, do not take half measures. If you are going to negotiate, don't leave the other party with just enough power to ruin you later. Either make them an absolute ally by pampering them, over-delivering, cutting them into the deal so they rely on you, or you ruthlessly price them out of the market and buy their assets for pennies. Never wound a king. You either work with them or you take the throne. But I know what you're thinking. What if people hate me for operating this way? This brings us to the most misunderstood lesson in history, and the exact moment you survive your ordeal and claim your reward. Machiavelli asked, "Is it better to be loved or feared?" Everyone knows the answer. It's better to be feared. But here's the crazy part almost everyone leaves out. He immediately followed that by saying, "But you must avoid being hated." In business, you don't want your employees, partners, or clients to love you like a friend. Love is fickle. Love changes when you have to cut bonuses or raise prices. If they just love you, they will take advantage of you. You want them to respect you. Fear, in the modern business sense, means a profound respect for your boundaries, your standards, and your consequences. They know if they underperform, they are out. If you maintain strict, unwavering standards, you will build an empire. Sounds intense, right? Wait until you hear the final piece of the puzzle. Now that you've survived the market crisis, beaten your competitors, and claimed your wealth, you are on the road back. You have money, and this is where 90% of lottery winners, pro athletes, and new entrepreneurs lose it all. They want to show off. They want to be generous. Machiavelli has a whole chapter on generosity, or as he calls it, liberality. He says that if you try to build a reputation for being generous, it will destroy you. Why? Because to maintain a reputation of generosity, you have to keep spending your wealth. You buy the dinners, you fund your friends' terrible business ideas, you upgrade your lifestyle. Eventually, the money runs out. And when you have to stop being generous, people won't just be disappointed, they will hate you, they will call you a miser. Machiavelli's dark advice? Be cheap. Embrace the reputation of being frugal. By hoarding your resources and keeping your overhead low, you build a massive war chest. When the next market crash happens, the generous guys go bankrupt. But you, the guy who saved his cash, you swoop in and buy their businesses for a fraction of the cost. This is the resurrection, the final transformation. You are no longer the naive beginner who thought the world was fair. You're a modern prince. You understand that the dark secret of wealth isn't just about creating value. It's about leverage. It's about deeply understanding the selfish, predictable nature of other human beings and positioning yourself so that their self-interest aligns perfectly with your bank account. That was the third hidden element. The centaur, half beast, half man. You must operate by the laws of civilized society, but always be ready to use the primal laws of nature when society's rules fail you. Let's bring it all together. If you want to be rich, drop the illusion of the nice guy. Control your fortuna through undeniable virtù. Be the fox to see the traps, and the lion to crush the threats. Never wound a competitor, pamper them into submission, or buy them out completely. Command respect over love. And aggressively protect your capital by ignoring the desperate need to look generous. Visualize this. A year from now, you aren't stressing over a 3% raise. You aren't worried about what your peers think of you. You are sitting on a war chest of capital, dictating your own terms to the market, untouchable by the economic storms that wipe out the weak. You have returned with the elixir. You have the wealth. But here is your next problem. Getting power and getting rich is one thing. Keeping that power when everyone is trying to take it from you is an entirely different game. Once you are the king, the targets are on your back. If you want to know exactly how the top 1% defend their empires and legally hide their wealth from the very system that tries to drain them, you need to watch the video on screen right now. Click here, and I'll see you in the next one.